Hi, folks. This is our Friday update. Sometimes I'm going to do it with slides and sometimes without slides. But before I get into that, I just want to give you all an urging. We just did a show with 107 on Tina Peters, who is an American hero who stood up for America on the election vote fraud issue. She's in prison. She shouldn't be there. And you all need to go watch that, and you need to do whatever you can do. Share that video with everybody far and wide. There's a gross injustice being done. Now, let's go to the first slide, and we're going to dig in to the recap from what we did earlier this week. The original show was in 3 parts. It was 40 slides. I'm going to narrow it down. We're going to use 11. We're going to go through them very fast. What I basically want to say to you is this, folks. There is more stuff coming than you can shake a stick at. There's national emergencies to be passed. There's a possibility of insurrection within the country and having to go to martial law. All kinds of things are happening. So the message that I'm going to be harping on for a little while at least is don't be afraid. It's all got to happen. When it's all said and done, the best is yet to come. And what this is from a modification of the show, of the slide we did earlier in the week, and all these things are being done. We're getting back our sovereign currency, our sovereign borders, our honest elections. That's the thing about Tina. She stood up for America. Go find out what she did. And we're getting control of our resource independence with all the deals that Trump is doing around the country, and energy independence with what he's done previously with the Chevron deal, manufacturing prowess, $17 trillion coming in to build factories, equitable trade agreements around the world so we make money on those trade agreements and don't lose money, global financial parity so that we can have peace around the world. That's why Trump is going out and negotiating all these peace agreements and shared values and goals. Once we find out what's been done to us, God has always said to me, my people will have their eyes open, will stand united as one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice, and we will free the captives. And then we'll set the world free financially, and America will be restored financially and will lead the rest of the world into an unparalleled period of peace and prosperity. So I don't care what you see coming. This is the outcome right here, and every bit of it is positive. Every bit of it is something that is being changed and directed in a very positive way. Let's go on down to the next slide, and this one is going to look a little scary. We are about to have the greatest financial reset we've ever had, and we've never had a crash that involved the stock market, the real estate market, and the bond market all at one time. But I just want to tell you, it's got to happen, folks. It's got to happen. What do they say? They say he who controls money controls the world. So if we are going to get back control of the money, we have to have the most catastrophic financial collapse we've ever seen, because that's the only way we take the power away from the global financial elite and put it in the hands of we, the people, and do all the things that you saw on the last slide. So don't be afraid. This is going to happen. It's going to be abrupt. It's going to be scary, but we're going to be running the financial system tandem in the background. And when we come back, we're going to be so happy that this happened. So very happy. Let's go down to the next slide. And I want to make sure that you understand there's pressure coming against the US dollar. And they make us believe that, oh, China's got the gold and so does Russia and so on and so forth. This is right from the IMF. America has more gold than anybody in the nation. When the time comes, we will go on a commodity-backed system. And if you look up above that, basically what you're going to see is what BRICS is doing, and on the other side, you're going to see what we're doing. BRICS now has, as a group, more manufacturing power than we do, because we've been substantially demanufactured. So what they're doing to fight this financial war is the BRICS nations are monetizing their supply chain. That means the manufacturing of the goods that they ship around the world. But what is America doing that's even more powerful than that? Trump is effectively charging, and you ready for this, and importing companies, everybody who's coming into this nation, a toll. That's why I picked the picture of this toll booth. So above and beyond anything he's done with tariffs, he's put a 10% surcharge. You want to do business with America? It'll cost you 10%. So that, coupled with what he's doing with crypto, and the fact that we have the gold and we'll go on back on a commodity-backed system, don't be afraid. This has to happen. And when it happens, we're going to go on a completely new system. Go to the next slide. It's going to be, and Donald Trump has already prepared us. He's going to basically give us the ability to have people not be dependent on the banks, to be able to be your own bank, and we are going to be the crypto capital of the world. So if you've been following, you already know, I can't go into detail in these summaries, we're positioning to basically come out of this more financially strong than we ever were and lead the rest of the world into an unparalleled period of peace and prosperity. Let's go to the next slide. And there's people out there that they're basically bad-mouthing them. You don't know what you're doing. These tariffs are killing us. No, 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 no. Look at this history. Remember, God told me what I am as I'm the analytical historian for the world. I'm supposed to be looking at all the trends, all the history, and show us that nothing that we're doing is just random. So America became the greatest nation in the world, just like this slide says, in 1876, and we did it with tariffs when we put a 50% tariff on Britain, and now we're doing it again. We're going to get the same outcomes. America is going to come out of this stronger than ever. We're going to get back the leadership role in manufacturing. We're going to get back control in the currency arena, and America is going to rise from the phoenix out of the ashes of this collapse that's coming. And we're going to, once we get our house straightened out, we're going to help all of the rest of the world, just like we did when we invented the Industrial Revolution. We're going to share all those amazing technologies that Trump has put out there for us to take advantage of. Let's go on down to the next slide. I'm going quick, but as I said, this is just a summary. So now they're saying, oh, Trump promised we were going to increase manufacturing. And look, nothing's happening. Folks, open your eyes up. $17 trillion coming into this country to build factories. Do you think you just snap your fingers and they're built in a week or a month or 6 months? No, but the process is in play. And when it's done, America is once again going to reclaim its position as the #1 manufacturing center in the world, surpassing China, maybe #2, #3, #4. I don't know. But America's future could not be brighter. Let's go down to the next slide. And Trump is promising that this is going to happen. He's saying basically that all nations of the world have to have financial parity. That's what's happening when he's going into these nations and creating the peace agreements that he's creating. That's what happens when he's laying the foundation for the peace that will allow all the nations of the world whose currencies have been utterly smashed and crashed. Think of the dinar in Iraq. Think of the Vietnam currency. All of those are going to reset. And what did Lincoln say? No, not Lincoln. Eisenhower said, is there one man, one woman, one child in the whole planet that doesn't understand the principal cause of war is inequity between nations? Trump is solving it. Every place you turn around, there's fear, there's pressure, there's pandemonium, there's chaos. Don't be afraid. Look at what I'm showing you here. Everything that needs to be done is being done, and it's being done quickly. It's being done with power, and America is on the trajectory to once again claim its position as the leader of the world. We're not going to be the sole undisputed leader of the world anymore, but we're still going to be the powerhouse that all the world looks for. And now I want to go into something that I want to raise an alarm on that people really don't think about much. So let's go to the next slide. And this needs to raise to people's consciousness. There is no question that the lie about the new Green Deal is just a lie. Carbon is not the issue. All the solutions that they bring to bear for their new Green Deal are a financial trap to drive us into financial collapse. These two men tell us in these two quotes what's going on. And this is one of the most important issues in the entire world. So what you got up there is LBJ, and he says, who controls the weather controls the world. And if you watched the presentation earlier this week, you'll know what this is relating to. If not, go back and watch it. They're talking about Operation Popeye, which was the manipulation of the weather in Vietnam to keep constant rain events going on and closing off the supply chains in Vietnam. It was used as a weapon of war, just as it's being used today. All the things that we call climatic control right now and weather changes, and they're all being done by man. And let's go down to Kissinger. Who controls the food supply controls the people. Who controls the energy can control the whole country. Who controls the money controls the world. These are the vehicles they're using to control us. They're driving prices up so that we can't even buy the necessities of life, and they're controlling the supply chain. Let's go on down, and you're going to see why I popped this slide up. Here's what we need to know. The crisis that faces the world is not carbon, it is water. You cannot live without water. You cannot grow food without water. The planet dies without water. So go back and watch what we did last week. And if you want to go back further, I've done entire presentations on this. God gave us a hydrological system that will give us all the water we need. All we need is free energy. And then we can tap in to the hydrologic system of the planet where water evaporates from the oceans, creating massive rivers of water up in the atmosphere. And all we have to have is the energy necessary to change the condensation level in those clouds, and we can have water anywhere we want, anytime we want, and we're not going to have to worry about our aquifers drying up and people starving. Because what I want to tell you, and we'll go to this next slide as I talk about it, is the real thing that they're doing with climate change is they want to allow all of our aquifers to dry. America feeds 100 nations in the world, and they're purposely allowing the huge oligoqual aquifer in the mid-plains to dry up. It's under 6 states. They're allowing the aquifer in California that gives us our vegetables to dry up. They're allowing basically the northern part of Mexico that gives us our winter vegetables to dry up. The Rio Grande River, certain times of the year, doesn't send a drop of water into the oceans. I'm going to do a really deep dive on this subject, but I've done other dives. We need to understand this thing you see right here has been proposed since the 60s. The engineers have looked at it. They said it's feasible, and they have said it is absolutely essential if we don't want to have worldwide famine within about the next 10 years. So what this project does is takes 3 rivers, one in Alaska, 2 in Canada, and it takes the water, instead of it pouring out into the Pacific, and it puts this into a channel where we use where we use dams, and we use all the modern engineering we need to do what? To deliver water to the fertile plains of Canada, where all of their wheat and everything grows, and come down and come into California and come into Mexico, and secure food security for the United States, which secures food security for the world, which aborts something that they're trying to do to us. You think war is killing a few million people here and there? Yep, that's great. You think the pandemic killing all the people they killed was great? This is even greater. If they do this to America, that affects 100 nations, and they're doing the same thing in other nations around the world. They're basically causing the food baskets of the world to have water shortages, hoping to create a famine, which creates a pandemic. You need to get involved. You need to learn about this. Let's go on down, and we're almost done. So here's the good news. This is what all this is leading to. God is in control. Donald Trump is in control. America has been chosen to be the leader. And when all this is said and done, the nations of the world now have seen through what Russia's doing. They've seen through what China's doing. They know that China is a pariah. They just threatened to basically cut the entire world off from our earth and basically collapse the entire logistics chains. So the whole world, I'm not talking about the leaders, I'm talking about the people of the world, want to see America come through this, get back its leadership position. And when they do, these are the requirements that you have to bring peace and prosperity to the world. And only one nation in the world can do it, and that's the United States of America. So if you don't check every one of these boxes, you cannot be the leader of the world. A free society. People do not want to live under communism. Diverse and abundant natural resources. We got it with spades. Diverse and innovative economy. We have been proven to be the most resourceful nation in the world. We, not any other nation, we invented the Industrial Revolution, the dot-com revolution, the computer revolution, and we're going to basically invent the next generation of unbelievable in energy breakthroughs. America is the only nation that can deliver on every one of these things. Leadership in manufacturing and trade, it's coming back to America. Energy and food independence, it's coming back to America. And there's way more that we can do than what I showed you in that 1 or 2 slides. America is going to be literally the salvation of the world. Global language. No nation has ever been able to be the leader of the world unless it was the dominant language. And the UN itself said the language of the world is the United States, and a strong military to ensure that trade routes are open and that we can have peace and prosperity throughout the world, and commerce can exist. So that's the message I want to give. I don't care what they do. I don't care if they cause a terrorist attack here. I don't care what they do. We are winning. Everything you see is coming forward to basically allow this financial collapse, and then it will be restored very, very quickly. America will get back its financial prowess, its manufacturing prowess, and will lead the rest of the world into an unparalleled peace and prosperity. And with this coming, if you've watched my other videos, you know that we're queued up, and there's going to be the wealth transfer. And in a year, we're just going to look back and say, oh my God, I can't believe what the world looks like now compared to what it looked like a year ago. I predict that by the end of this year or early into 26, the financial reset is either going to have happened or be happening, and all the things that you see here are going to be check marks that yes, they happened. Yes, the United States of America delivered. Yes, the world is looking towards peace and prosperity, the likes of which it's never seen. So with that, go find that Juan video. Come visit me next week. Next week, I think we're going to be talking about a very important subject, but I'm working on something that I don't think I'll have done probably for 2 weeks. And that is, I'm going to dig deep into the financial collapse, and I'm going to show you why you do not need to be afraid of it, why it has to happen, and I'm going to give you an extensive roadmap for what you need to do to come out of it on the other side better off than you were when you went into it, or at least at parity. So with that, we'll see you next week. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to go watch that video from 107.